Yo, what's good, YouTube? I ain't did a real estate video in a while, and I want to tell you guys why. Guys, like, lately, man, I've been going through a lot in this real estate business. We've been spending a lot of money lately. The last time I think we did a video, I told you guys, we were starting a brokerage. We did start the brokerage, and guys, starting the brokerage, commercial brokerage, FMIG, guys, starting a brokerage, or even if you're not the broker, transfer over from another brokerage. This stuff is expensive, guys. Like, I'm gonna just be honest, and I'm gonna give you guys, so you guys see the title of the video, I'm gonna give you guys what you want about why I left the National Associations of Realtors. But we gonna get to that in a minute. Guys, so with starting a new brokerage, like, guys, this stuff has been some of the most expensive stuff I've ever been through in the past month or so. And just being transparent, I would say January is probably one of my worst months that I've had in a while. We picked everything back up. We back doing big deals now. I just closed the awesome office space that you guys probably see in the community. But yeah, like, starting a brokerage has been super duper expensive. So that's why, I haven't really been posting any real estate content or keeping you guys posted on what I got going on. But I will start being a lot more consistent. But let's get to the nitty gritty, guys. So I have officially left. My broker has officially left the National Association of Realtors, guys. And let me tell you why. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people who end up watching this particular video are probably already aware of the whole NAR lawsuit that happened about 2 years ago in reference to buyers agents commissions. And a lot of people did not like how that played out. So companies like Redfin, they left the National Association of Realtors. Remax left. The company that owns, I think it's All Real Estate Group, that they own Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens, and a couple of other brokerages. They all basically all of these brokerages and these companies have given their agents options to opt out of the National Association of Realtors. Fast forward to January 2026, which was last month, as the recording of this video. The National Association of Realtors have basically, they let it be known that you don't have to be a part of the National Association of Realtors to obtain and receive MLS access, which a lot of people, me included, a lot of us were really a part of this association primarily because of we needed MLS access. Well, as of January 2026, I try to, with me being in the business for over 7 years, I have been doing research. I'm always doing research. I'm always thinking 10 steps ahead of every situation. So I've been, doing some digging. And I say it was last year, right? I ended up into a situation where, I had to get legal involved. I had to, I was potentially thinking about suing a client, another broker, and their client, and it was going to get really, really messy. And I remember calling the National Association of Realtors hotline, asking them for help. Now, previous years, I've been asking the National Association of Realtors for support on certain things and help on certain things that I've ran into in the business where, I'm thinking, being a part of this trade membership, I'm supposed to get some type of, help. I'm paying my dues on time, going to all the events, doing this, that, and the third. And even with my local chapter, which would, in Pensacola would be PAR, which I was a part of, I wasn't really getting the support that I need. But, every year when it came to making sure I paid them dues, they down your throat about the dues. Well, let's fast forward to after, the little legal dispute where I had to go get my own attorneys to kind of get involved and kind of resolve that situation for me, because I would say that was the last straw as to why I did not. Why it kind of played a role into me leaving, right? So fast forward to this year, a couple days ago, right? I've always, with us transitioning into the new brokerage where we do commercial real estate as well as residential, and we kind of have, we kind of are operating to the point to where we don't need the MLS access like that. We have access to places like Redfin, Zillow, and then also us having access, me learning that we were able to have access to the MLS without having to be a part of NAR. I was like, NAR is just another bill. Another bill that a lot of real estate agents can't really afford to pay, especially if 70% of agents haven't sold anything in the last year. So what did I do? Fast forward, January come around. Did I pay my bill? I did not. And let me tell you why. When I would log into my portal to pay, the dues, my dues said zeroed out. Well, never really got an invoice, never got a bill, which normally I do, right? Well, my new broker gets a letter in the mail, right? This letter in the mail is basically the local chapter of the NAR is sending a letter basically threatening and what I would consider would be some form of extortion. It's like, hey, you guys owe this amount of, I wish I could show the email, but, I don't want to dox anybody. I don't want to put anybody on blast or anything like that. But the letter is basically stating, hey, you guys are, if you guys don't pay these dues and pay this reinstatement fee, your broker needs to remove you from their brokerage. And it's, so, I make the call, I talk to them, and, they're kind of just, it's mad. The ladies are coming across mad disrespectful, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, for some people who are supposed to be, in my corner, okay, of course, if I miss the bill, my bad, I pay it. But, I never got notified that I needed to pay. I never got reminded that I needed to pay. Well, when I did get reminded I needed to pay, I had been coming to the office. I had been going to meetings. I had been going to classes that they host. I had been on the phone with these people. Nobody ever told me that I have been. Nobody ever told me that I needed to pay my dues or dues were due and my account saying zero was not normal. So, I have a conversation with her. It's basically saying, they never even got my dues from last year. Well, I was like, well, I paid my dues last year because I remember paying my old broker, for my dues. Well, she was like, well, your broker didn't, I guess like my broker didn't pay it, but I paid them the money. So that's a whole nother situation. And then they were like, basically, so since we have written, first it was I've been suspended from NAR for 2 years. But I was like, how am I suspended if I have access to the MLS? I've been going to all of these meetings for the past 6 to 7 months. Nobody told me I've been suspended. I have access to literally everything. I've had access to this stuff for a while. So, am I really suspended? So that led to the conversation of, so basically, it got to the point to where we was having a conversation. I was like, well, I kind of already know that I don't legally have to be required to be a part of NAR anymore. So I was like, well, in this sense, the lady at the office and the NAR office at my local chapter already told me. She admitted to it. At first, they tried to lie that at first I would have to be a member of the National Association board. So then I started using I start referencing the statutes from NAR of what we are allowed to as real estate professionals and what NAR's new bylaws state when it comes to giving access to the MLS. So the conversation ended with me, stating like, yo, like, if my broker opts out of being a part of NAR and requests to be a part of the MLS system, that's what we will do so. So that's exactly what we did, and we got our freedom. And we also got access to the local MLS too. So that's really dope. It's something that's really, really beneficial to me. It saved me a lot of money. They were trying to make up other like late fees that says miscellaneous to try to get me to pay them. But evidently I just told them like, they tried to send like threatening emails to be like, yo, that means you'll never be able to use the word realtor again. Anybody who knows me, as long as I've been in the real estate business, I never cared for using the term realtor. I never really none of my logos have ever had it. I don't care. I have a great book of business on the residential and commercial side and off market and wholesale. So that really never really mattered to me. And to those agents who utilize it, that's cool, good for you. Me, I don't really care about it because at the end of the day, my end goal is to make money and build relationships with the guys who I make a ton of money. So, yeah. So, as of today, we are officially no longer a part of NAR. Now, I will say, like, I'm pretty sure the people watching this video are probably going to have questions on, hey, yo, how can I leave? Everybody's state is different. Not all states require, this is so, when you guys are doing research, when it comes to like, if you guys decide that you want to leave NAR, you have to research your state because certain states, they require you to be a part of NAR to do and operate and have access to the MLS. Not all states, but certain states in the US, they do require you to still be a part of the NAR. Florida, it just happened to be one of those states where they don't. And we still get access. And we pay like, what, $65 a month to have access. So, I mean, in my opinion, I got off great. The only thing I will say too, though, so like if you guys opt out of being a part of NAR, a lot of you guys who use Form Simplicity or National Association, like, not that, but Loop, and you guys' membership was tagged to those platforms, you will lose access to your Florida Realtor forms, contracts, and everything. So before you decide that you're going to make that decision, make sure you have a backup. Make sure you got your own contracts. Me being in the commercial space, a lot of people in the commercial space, they hire attorneys to draft their own contracts anyway. Me, I've always had my own contracts regardless of even when I was doing residential and even when I'm doing my off markets and all that other stuff. So I never really had to worry about it. Everybody's different though. But just make sure, if you guys decide that you're going to leave National Association of Realtors, make sure you have your ducks in a row. Make sure it actually makes sense for you. Me personally, I don't care how much money I'm making. I'm not coming up off of $400, $500 every single year to put towards a membership and toward a board that doesn't support me how I need to be supported, especially when I need them. Also, when I feel like, after a while, I haven't really been getting a lot of benefits from being a part of it. I've been a part of other organizations and I've gotten more out of that relationship outside of, the National Association of Realtors. And evidently, at the end of the day, we're here to make money. We're here to be professionals and we're still real estate professionals, but let me know what you guys think, about me leaving. Let me know if you guys have questions about it. Because, I did a deep dive on YouTube and I was like, nobody really talks about this in the real estate industry. And it's a lot of people who kind of make it seem like, yo, if you're not a part of NAR, that, it's the end all be all for you. Nobody's going to take you serious. That's not the case. Guys, I got a crazy book of business right now. And matter of fact, within these next couple of, I'd say, weeks or so, the type of deals that you guys are about to see me start posting, because I haven't really posted, I've been doing mega deals, guys. Mega deals. This is not even including what I'm doing off market, in my own lane or whatnot, right? But just know, we are evidently, dang, wow, this is crazy. It's super highlight over here. Just know, guys, we out here, we getting to the money this year. We are getting to the money this year. Trust and believe. I will be anybody who responds or comments on this video, I will be, you know, responding to everybody. If I need to, I will do another video explaining the process and how I went about it. I definitely saved myself $700. And also the thing is like, I feel like, you know, when it comes to the National Association or any local board that you're a part of, you know, you can go join other boards, but it just make sure it makes sense for you and your business. It doesn't make sense for me and my business. And the only thing I really ever needed was the MLS. And then even with the MLS, like, guys, I'm doing a lot of deals off market. I'm using other different MLS, IDX based platforms anyway. So it's not really, you know, if it doesn't benefit you and it costs me a lot more money, I'm not going to keep it. And that just is what it is. But we finna start showcasing with you guys like what I actually do in the real estate business, because this year I would say it's been one of, like, this past couple of weeks, phone has been blowing up, guys. Like, we just closed a mega office space deal. It was a lease deal, 6,600 square feet, for a 3-year term with a big company that was on the stock market, Grace Medical. So that's really great. I got another really big deal coming up. I can't really talk about it because it's not official yet. And then we got the restaurant that we're selling. I got a lot of great big stuff that I'm about to drop. Also, as well as the house stuff. So yeah, like, you know, I'm really finna give you guys the real deal, the grit of being in the business. And the crazy thing is I'm still 26 at the end of the day. So, you know, we got a lot to go through. We about to start showcasing you guys wholesaling, innovations, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. For anybody who needs mentorship of any way, form, or fashion, or just a consult, let me know. You know, I'm here to help. I'm here to grow. I'm here to make money. Let's get it. Yeah, but yeah, peace.